Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, the Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania takes a revealing twist after an all-time epic promo with the Mr. Paul Heyman. Plus, Roman gets a little InZayn in the membrane, and Brock Lesnar is apparently extremely frugal. So sit back, relax, and I swear to God, if I get another text message about LeBron breaking the all-time scoring record, I am going to break my phone, Jordan, all day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 327. Pull back the curtain exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. Oh my God, Taquan, that is horrible, but I kind of also semi-agree with you on that. And Michael Jordan's still to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 327. Pull back the curtain. I am your host, King Ricky Rose. Just a two-man show today. Obviously, Kay is on a little bit of a Legends contract sabbatical, and we really didn't want to find a guest. We're just going to kick it with a little bit of old school, but just us guys here. So with me here for his first appearance during Black History Month. And by the way, Wakanda Forever is now streaming, so you have no excuse.
That is true.
Back from his fishing trip in Miami, that's what we're going to say, everybody. Will Tereshak.
I was hunting gators.
How are you, Will?
I'm good, man. I actually do have one thing to say about that LeBron thing.
Yeah.
So I saw a tweet, or it's like a story. It's like Michael Jordan was asked if the '90s Bulls could beat the modern day Lakers. He's like, "No, I think it'd be a 2-point game." He's like, "Well, in a '60s now." And I was like, "Oh God, damn!" That is some fucking shade. Also, probably accurate. Scottie Pippen over the guy with the unibrow all day.
Anthony Davis is fragile as all hell. He does like the Floridian, Charles. Welcome, Sir Charles.
Floridian. Go DeSantis.
Oh, do not stop.
Don't cut that out of context.
Do not.
It's funny because my mom's maiden name is DeSantis. I have to go no relation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my mom's maiden name is DeSantis. If anyone ever asks, I have to go. Yeah, it's DeSantis, no relation.
Nice. Good. Distance yourself, please. Please distance yourself from that maniac. In and of itself. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kings of the Rings podcast. We're going to pull back the curtain a little bit, but not really. It's probably going to be a shorter show this week, maybe, because there wasn't really much to talk about, but the things we are going to talk about are going to be a little bit big. And actually, I have a little bit of a good little discussion that I think we can get into towards the latter half of the show. But before that, some quick news and notes. First being, by the way, SummerSlam's coming. SummerSlam is announced and it's going to go to Ford Field in Detroit. If anybody doesn't know where Ford Field is, I don't blame you because no one watches the Detroit Lions to begin with. But that's where the football team in Detroit plays. But last time I think WWE even had an event at Ford Field was WrestleMania. So they are going very, very big again. SummerSlam in Detroit, August 5th, Saturday, August 5th. Tickets go on sale, I believe, April 14th. So a couple days after WrestleMania. So SummerSlam, I'm pretty excited for this. I'm halfway considering maybe making the trek to Detroit. It's not that bad. Because I've never been to Detroit before. Also a good place where I know a lot of Canadians that actually go to Detroit because it's literally like right by the border of Canada too. But SummerSlam, August 5th. What do you think, Will?
Well, if the Tigers are in town, I think it's worth doing a dual. I think it's worth doing a dual trip.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's really the only way I would go.
I
because,
don't like the Tigers, but I know that stadium's kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the Tigers, but I love baseball, and it's an excuse to go to a game that's probably really cheap because it's the fucking Tigers.
Yeah, no one signs up. Did Mickey retire yet?
Yeah, I think it's this year.
Okay, we might want to go.
I don't know if him and Pujols did the same year. I don't know because he didn't get as much pump and so everyone saying as Midgie, Midgie Pujols and Yachty did.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if he has one more year left.
I would go just to see Mickey.
But I don't think there's been anything ever in the history of ever that's made me go, you know what? Let's go to Detroit. And that might be including SummerSlam. So, but we'll see. I mean, especially because it's going to be like right after, like it's after this Mania the tickets go on sale.
Yeah, April 14th.
All right, so I'm not going to see his Mania, so I might have some cash.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what my cash. We'll see what my cash is like.
Agreed. We'll have to see at that point. But yeah, SummerSlam Detroit. I'm interested. Might as well. Oh, I've actually heard about Ford Field. We'll talk about it on the post show. Their technology is kind of nuts that they've made upgrades in Ford Field for, but that's another conversation for another time.
Does your food come in drones?
No. It's a very interesting surveillance technology.
That sounds terrifying.
A little bit, but it's also very cool in another sense. What was not cool was that, unfortunately, we heard, I think Tuesday afternoon, that Jerry Lawler suffered a stroke and was recovering from the after effects of a stroke. From what I've also read, unfortunately, it's his second stroke in 5 years.
Oof, that's not good.
And everybody who's anybody in wrestling also famously knows that Jerry Lawler suffered a heart attack on Monday Night Raw. And if it wasn't for, let's be truthful here, if it wasn't for number one, Michael Cole realizing and getting help, Jerry Lawler's dead on national TV.
Isn't it crazy? Like, someone who never smokes, never drinks, and never did anything bad to his body other than wrestle is had more health problems than fucking Ric Flair.
They do have one thing in common, though, is that they go through women like crazy.
Yeah, but he doesn't have STDs.
True.
There's fucking too much give you probably give your heart attack,
yeah.
for sure. But
it should be good for your heart. It's cardiovascular exercise.
Yeah, not if you do it too much.
If you do it, no, you gotta be consistent with it. Any cardio is good cardio, I feel like.
That's fair. Yeah, it's a damn shame, man. Jerry the King is one of those guys that's like he's a favorite. He's a spoiled favorite.
Perfected pretty much one of the greatest storylines of all time, because it was no one knew if it was real or not. It's him and Andy Kaufman. That's legendary.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely legendary.
He really is the best color commentator ever.
Yeah.
Name me a better color commentator than Jerry Lawler.
You can argue Heenan.
You can't argue Heenan.
You can argue Heenan.
Okay, you can't argue Heenan. Okay, but you know what? Heenan might just be too old at this point, because Heenan was big in the 80s and the early 90s, whereas Lawler was popped off during the Attitude Era into the Ruthless Aggression Era, which is the biggest generations of wrestling period.
Yeah.
Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression is bigger than the 80s Hogan boom.
Yeah.
And Lawler was wrestling then.
Yeah, Lawler was wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, he wrestled not too long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got a picture of Lawler, but we were there when we met Lawler in New Orleans at WrestleCon.
Yeah, super sweet guy.
Very nice guy.
He's a sweet
hell
man.
of a drawer. He's a hell of an artist. You ever seen something he's crazy gifted as an artist.
He was really good on the Broken Skull sessions.
Was he? I had not seen that one.
Yeah, well, go back and watch it, because it's he's really good. He's very soft spoken. He's very well spoken, and he's very honest about his life and things. Remember the early aughts. He quit WWE for a little bit because his wife at the time was fired.
Yeah, that was the cat.
The cat. Yeah, so he talks about that and what it's like, all these years later and with the mistakes or whatever. But man's lived a hell of a life. I know we're talking about he's dead, but no, he's gonna be just fine. He's recovering.
Yeah.
I know he has he has limited speech right now.
From what I heard, I think JR posted that he was somewhat of a slurred limited speech, but I know reports now came out before we did our show, but he's expected to make a full recovery, which is a very good sign.
Glad to see he kicked out.
He's good. And I think I want to emphasize here about, you said Lawler's very soft spoken, because the Jerry the King thing is literally just a gimmick. He's not that guy.
That's it is kind of crazy. Ric Flair lives the gimmick. Jerry Lawler's kind of the opposite.
Correct. Yeah.
As soon as the camera's off, he's just all right, I can go back to being Jerry, or whatever the hell his real name is.
I think it is Jerry.
I think it is Jerry Lawler. I think his name is Jerry Lawler.
The King part, I think, is what he trademarked or copyrighted or whatever it was. Ric Flair's name is even Ric Flair if you watch the recent documentary.
It's Fred Phillips. That took me I was shocked.
That's what they started the documentary out with. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. It got my attention. I was like, all right, I'm gonna actually put the phone down. I'm gonna actually watch this shit. And the rest was just, I knew all of this, other than the struck by lightning. I didn't know he was got struck by lightning.
Ric Flair is one of those guys. I don't see how he still does it.
I don't know how he's alive. He shouldn't be alive. He doesn't know how. He's
alive.
He
admits it, because I should have been dead.
Yeah, he's actually died like 30 years ago.
He does more cardio than me probably on the regular, which is kind of nuts. You see him at the end; he was doing like rows, and I'm like, dude, you're like
Yeah.
70. What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, dude. But hey, long live the king, hopefully, and Ric Flair. Fuck it, Ric Flair's earned his time to relax.
Did we ever find out what Hulk Hogan is? He actually
No,
paralyzed?
I think it's Hulk is just old because Hulk's almost like 70,
He's
and
just, he's just milking it.
maybe he does have some struggle walking here and there, but that's expected for someone that age.
Fair
You
enough.
know.
I hope he's not paralyzed. He's
Let's move on to the only noteworthy thing in SmackDown, and there's that as well. Yes. Why does this picture look like Roman Reigns talking to his drunk son after a night out?
no, it's Solo.
But yeah, I love what they're doing with this because essentially when you're going into Mania season, but you have the stopgap at Elimination Chamber, which seems like a really big deal because it's in Canada, and of course they're highlighting all of our Canadian superstars because that's just smart business.
Yep.
And they're juggling this real well where Roman, and no pun intended, is acknowledging that Cody exists, but they're not touching. And Roman still
Well, he's got business.
yeah,
first.
and he's dealing with the Sammy issue. And listen, after this past week of wrestling, there were some arguments for Sammy somehow being in this main event with Roman at WrestleMania. That's all gone. I'm sorry. It's all gone.
I've thought about it. This is what I would do. If you want to give Sammy his due justice in main eventing WrestleMania, which I think he should. I really do think he should. I think him and Kevin Owens could main event the tag titles night one.
That's fine.
I think and you can have Charlotte and Rio kick off the show because that's just as big of a spot.
Yeah, you either want to be the first or the last.
Yeah, like listen, I understand that people want Sammy to main event WrestleMania. I want Sammy to main event WrestleMania, but it's Cody's spot. This was always Cody's spot. If anything, it's not like Batista taking Daniel Bryan's spot. This is Sami Zayn taking Cody's spot.
Yeah, and Cody called it the day after WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, and I think listen, the Bloodline is still main event. Like they're the main event. Sami's been the main event for the past year with the Bloodline. Yeah. I think that the tag belts that the Usos, which is also the Bloodline, main eventing night one with Kevin Owens, who main evented last year night one, I think is very believable. And I think that's a way that the fans can take a little bit of heat off of Cody and just put the heat also on Sami because he's super fucking over.
Yeah. Well, Sami's getting his main event spot in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where he's from. That place is going to explode at the first sign of him potentially beating Roman. Because Roman's very good at false finishes. And that first false finish is going to explode that arena.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Like Sami, I don't think WWE is doing Sami dirty in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all.
It's tough because how do you make it that they don't boo Cody? Like if Sami's getting beat down, does Cody come in for a save after
Here's
the match?
my thing. I think Cody is nowhere near this pay-per-view. I wouldn't put Cody in. I wouldn't put Cody in a match. I wouldn't even have him appear. I think you have Cody go all roads to WrestleMania. He doesn't need Elimination Chamber. Serves him no purpose. Nothing he can do at Elimination Chamber will help him at all. Elimination Chamber is where you're setting up your undercard essentially for WrestleMania and your other matches.
Yeah. I love the Chamber with the U.S. title. I think that's amazing. I think
it's
that's
a
very,
smart move.
smart.
Your WrestleMania main event is set. Roman Reigns has both the titles. It's Roman versus Cody.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What Cody alluded to, unless Sami wins, which is not going to happen, this is going to be clearly hometown curse because WWE is not stupid. But the fact of the matter that Sami Zayn is main eventing in his hometown, it's going to be the main event. The Elimination Chamber is not going to be the main event. Sami main eventing against Roman in his hometown, Sami is going to look like a megastar, more so than he already is just because he has his hometown fans behind him.
Yeah,
it's going to be great for him.
It's going to be pretty damn close to WrestleMania moment. At least he's getting the match.
Yeah, he's getting the match. This is how you kind of pair to him, and Don't be surprised if something screwy comes happen. I think we're going to talk about this next week with our special guest next week. But I think KO saves Sammy. That's when you set up Usos versus KO, Kevin Owens and Sammy.
We still haven't seen Jay, which is wild.
That is also the wild card in all of this too.
And they're defending on Saturday, Friday.
That's true. Yeah, no, Jay is still the wild card, which is a great part of a story, but they have left open.
I think he turns on Sammy at Elimination Chamber when he comes back to the family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to, right? I mean, the bloodline is still the best thing going, and this picture of Roman just yelling at Sammy, it's just Roman Reigns and like Triple H yelling at the Marks to shut the fuck up for a second.
Oh, it's also
right? Like,
it's also Roman being like, "How dare you give me a good ass spear like that?"
Yeah, it's appreciate what we're giving you and like enjoy it for what it is because Cody is the guy. And Cody deserves spot. Like Cody isn't Batista that's coming in and taking a spot. Cody is also super over. We saw that on Monday. He's super fucking over.
Yeah.
And like I would be very bummed. Like what else would Cody do? Go after Walter for an IC title and like I left AEW for this? Like you know what
Although
I mean?
Gunther's also now a made man after that Rumble. What a performance.
Yeah, I know. I didn't talk about the Rumble last week because I wasn't here, but yeah, Gunther, an hour 11, like 71 minutes or 72 minutes, whatever it was.
An hour and 11, I believe.
Yeah, I mean the bookend Rumbles twice in one night was very ballsy by Triple H.
Mm-hmm. But there were two separate endings, which I thought were fantastic.
And 3 people went wire to wire. Liv also went wire to wire.
Liv went wire to wire too, which is good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
You know, I think it does best for Walter. My only concern with Mania, even though we're months at this point away from Mania, what does Gunther do?
I like what Fretz just said. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus. I think that's a phenomenal match.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I mean, dude, Sheamus is also the most over he's ever been.
Listen, I would love. I mean, you got to get Drew and Sheamus apart from each other because they're like the lads now. But I would love to see Gunther versus Sheamus 2 without Drew for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. That's how you get the IC title relevant again.
I think Gunther Drew is a great match, though.
I do too, but I still have Gunther Sheamus on my mind from Clash at the Castle.
That's
and
fair.
imagine.
And they did tease Brock Gunther just a little bit.
But imagine what they can do at a bigger spotlight of Mania, of Gunther and Sheamus. I would even have that start the show at one point, or put that in Show Stealer.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, they did have the rematch on SmackDown. What, a Gunther Sheamus 3 at Mania? Fuck it, do it. I don't care. But no, Sammy and Roman is good. It makes Elimination Chamber something to watch. You know, I'm always going to be excited for a Chamber 2, and I think this is the perfect placement because now after Chamber, you've got a month and a half to fix Mania if there's issues. Which so far, there are no issues, especially after, I'll say it now, one of the best promos I've ever seen on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, the promo was great. Now, it's like, I was wondering, how are they going to build Roman Cody while Sammy's going on? And it makes sense, Roman has his hand tied with Sammy. It's sent out Paul and Roman and Cody to spar on the mic. And I think it's very good booking. I think it makes sense.
And holy shit, what a battle.
And it was good. Yeah, it was pretty good. You know why? Because it was real. It was authentic. It's a true story. I bet Dusty did have $100 to his name doing car commercials. He needs a car.
That sounds like a total Dusty thing.
I mean, it's super illegal, but I'm sure they're in like Texas where who cares?
Yeah, wrestlers get away with a lot, especially if you watch Young Rock. You learn a lot about the shadiness that went on in the back. But it was fascinating to me because I'm watching this, and I think for the first time in a long time, like I don't know, because this is clearly a worked shoot. If you ever see this, it's a worked shoot. There's a lot of elements of realism, like we already said. But I think Cody broke Paul for at least a minute.
Yeah, those tears did look real. I mean, Paul was good, but he had me fooled. I was like, damn, like Paul Heyman, like everyone has respect for Dusty.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, no, he did hit a chord.
Yeah, he hit a chord. And I wouldn't be surprised that Paul Heyman was the one to bail Dusty out because Paul Heyman is essentially what Vince McMahon was, except Vince had money and Paul did not.
Yeah, and I was like, I was waiting for Cody to say, you promised him all this money and you didn't pay him, you fuck.
No, but he paid him.
I was waiting for that line, but no, I guess he did pay him. Well, I guess Vince paid him.
Whatever. I don't, whatever the time frame was, but
Dusty was Vince's first paid off.
Yeah. Yeah, no. People, and I love how Cody went at this, and I love how Cody's going at this, because this is all about respect for his family and respect also for the NOI family too as well. Which is cool. So like, there's no real animosity, although Paul did kind of stir it. But this is just like two royal families going at it for supremacy, which is a great story. So I will see what happens after Chamber if everything like ramps up to 100, which it should. But this promo and
Cody's like, I just wanted to wrestle for a title.
Yeah.
That's all I
now
wanted.
You had to
now
talk to my dad in this. Now I'm gonna have to kill you. You know, it was great to see that, and I love how Cody just approaches this. It's all about, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be as cool as possible. But now you've stirred shit up. Now I'm going to whip your ass. I love it. I love the story so far. I don't think there's going to do another promo that's going to be better than that on this build to this title, because I want to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, man, it's just like the more this goes on, it's just Cody said it earlier this week too. He's just like, WrestleMania doesn't need The Rock. He's like, we got stars, we have enough stars here.
Yeah, this proved it.
And I'm just like, I was thinking about it. I was just like, well, yeah, he's right.
Look at the Men's Rumble. The Men's Rumble had no surprises outside of Logan Paul. They used their roster.
Booker T.
All right, Booker T. But Booker T's under contract.
Did you see Booker T's knees? He couldn't bend them.
I didn't care. Everybody knew he was there to do a spinneroonie. That's all everybody was there for.
Yeah, that was fine. That was fine. But look at this card right now. You got Seth Rogen.
But they haven't announced it, but probably going to happen. Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing. He's burying him. He buried him on McAfee show too, which is pretty great. So that's going to be a hell of a match. You know, like if you got Brock Bobby, which is going to be a hell of a match.
Which we're about to talk about after this. Yeah.
Like it's interesting that what these attraction matches used to be with the legend, like an Undertaker, is now your current roster in this set. Like, who's Seth's opponent? Like, that's a big deal. Who's Brock's opponent? It's not for a title. That's a big deal. Yeah. You know, it used to be Taker, but it used to be Cena. Mm-hmm. But now it's like the guys who are currently, well, not the exception of like Brock, it's who's active. You can even say it's who's Bobby's match.
Yeah.
Right? No Goldberg.
You don't need him.
No
you
Rock.
Don't need him.
No Austin.
Don't need him either.
Like what would Austin do?
He's
jacked to the gills.
Yeah, there's nothing for him to do.
Who's left?
Triple H retired. Shawn Michaels is not doing shit. Like, there's no one left.
Oh, imagine Bray versus Stone Cold.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't like that matchup at all.
It'd be so terrible.
I don't like that matchup at all. I mean, we still don't know if Miz is going to do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Miz takes the year off from Mania.
Miz hasn't been relevant in a long time, unfortunately.
Although you can, I don't even know what you would do. I mean, you can even do maybe. Well, they don't have nothing for the Miz, but like I would love to see Miz Johnny.
Some battle royal.
Or some battle royal, of course, obviously a pre-show battle royal, whatever. But Miz versus Boogs, that's not going to happen at Mania. Although Boogs needs a redemption after he literally blew out his knee on the first
first
match.
That was a damn shame.
He can't.
Miz and Maurice versus Johnny and Candice would be fun.
I like that.
That's fun. That's doable. Like Dexter Loomis as a rap.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, this Cody and Paul Heyman promo, people are going to be playing this for a while because these are two pros. Like I said, I've never seen anybody go toe-to-toe with Paul in a promo and hold their ground. Cody did it.
Yeah,
I was very impressed. One of the best work shoots ever. Moving on to big meaty men slapping meat, Bobby versus Brock, and another person who's learned how to cut promos in his old age, Brock Lesnar.
It was meat slapping majesty.
Yes, it was. I mean,
Shout out to
K Murphy.
This promo was also funny. The Bobby Who is just like I was like, you know who.
Know exactly.
Fuck up,
you know exactly who you're talking about.
It's just really funny how he can't say Sable.
Because like I was with well, everybody knew. Orlando's pretty marked.
Oh yeah, he was waiting for his Sable chant.
Orlando's pretty marked. Everybody knew he's stole Sable from Mark Merrow.
Yeah, Mark Merrow was just like, okay, that's fine with me.
Well, he wasn't.
What am I gonna do?
Okay with it, but like I said, there's nothing he can do. He was not okay with it, but I love it. I didn't know Brock Lesnar bought $5 denim jackets. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, where do you get $5?
Where do you get $5 any piece of clothing?
Yeah,
I would have shot where you shot Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, is he in a thrift store? Like Brock Lesnar walks into a thrift shop and that's what he buys? Okay, if he bought the denim jacket, would his sleeves attach or did he cut them off?
No, they were cut off. They were definitely cut off.
So he bought them cut off?
Yeah, he bought them cut off.
Okay.
He definitely bought them cut off. Yeah. Can you picture?
Yeah, Brock shops at Goodwill.
and he has the audacity to ask for all of that money, you bastard. You fucking
behind his $5 jacket said $1 million. Fuck you, Brock.
Yeah.
$1 million car. I mean, he's right, but
oh my god! Well, you know what I found out about Brock? I saw a clip of him too. He actually talks about why he doesn't do a full-time schedule.
Is it after?
Well, no, that too. But he really doesn't like crowds. He's very shy and introverted.
Yeah, he doesn't like people.
Yeah.
I did know that. Yeah,
he doesn't like crowds.
That's why,
he's like I can perform in front of people. That's fine, but like all the other stuff, like he's like that freaks me out, man. Like gives him like really bad anxiety.
Early on in his career, he bought the private jet because he didn't like going through customs. He doesn't like people.
Yeah,
he's introverted, and like that kind of rubbed the locker room the wrong way. But like Bruce Pritchard talked about on his podcast years ago. He's like, listen, this came out of his own pocket. Like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, no, I can see how.
Like WWE didn't fly him around. He bought a private jet.
Yeah, and I can understand how that like rubs people the wrong way, but like that's also it's a mental concern of his, and like you can't really battle that. Like you gotta find a way to adjust. And listen, it worked out well for everybody.
Yeah,
and it's not like Brock didn't earn his stripes. He clearly earned his stripes. Like Brock gets the business quite well. And him and Bobby are going to be fun at Mania. Oh, yeah. So much fun. Where you put them, I don't know. Night 1, night 2, who doesn't care? But it's going to be fun. I love how Bobby is still hinting at the Hurt Business, but not really. Like, he's dressing more proper now.
He's like, I don't want the Hurt Business, but Triple H wants the Hurt Business.
But it's happening. Because Cedric and Shelton actually won a match on Raw.
And they were in the background of Corbin breaking up with JBL.
all right. This isn't part of the outline, but still. How bad do you have to be for JBL to say, like, fuck you, I'm out?
Baron Corbin bad, apparently. And Baron Corbin sucks.
Oh, my God. I was like, wow, JBL even broke up with you? That's a shame. That is a shame. Poor Baron. But maybe we'll get a broke ass Baron Corbin. That was a fun time for like a couple months. Remember when he was broke?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was the best Baron. That was the best work
he
he
was
ever
broke
did.
Corbin. Then they had a pay-per-view in Vegas. They had Money in the Bank in Vegas.
They did this Money in the Bank in Vegas. He's like, I won the lottery.
And he was happy Corbin again.
Oh my God. I mean, to his credit though, he's adaptable. He has had many gimmicks that he's made work.
Constable Corbin.
I forgot about Constable.
It's when he started wearing like regular like he looked like an Applebee's manager.
Yeah.
Applebee's manager Corbin. But Brock Bobby, can't wait to see what goes with that. It's just
yeah, but it's like when Brock said Elimination Chamber, I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, don't you?
Like Brock, he's supposed to point. Didn't you read the set notes?
I also loved how on Raw that was a running joke for everybody. They could look. I'm gonna point to the sign now. I was like, wow, you guys are assholes.
Yeah, just like I did the point, guys.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Brock could probably also tease that he might be showing up at Elimination Chamber because he does reside in Canada, so might as well, right?
I love if he was just like, oh wait, did I say Elimination Chamber? I forgot. I can't travel. I can't leave the country.
Listen, at least didn't say Money in the Bank like. Fucking
that was really funny. When I went Money off.
You see this crowd? I was like, wow, you tried, Dan. Like, I mean, listen, 8 out of 10 on the recovery. I'll give him that.
Yeah, 8 yeah. You should have said, you know what? I'm going to win that too.
Yeah. All right, so here's the question here. Raw ended with an actually pretty brutal-ass cage match.
What the fuck is Lita doing?
That's what I wanted. I was like, oh, I popped for Lita. Like, this was a very big Raw. I was like, ooh, Lita, like, are we having one more run? Because, like, honestly, you just paid off Becky and Bayley, which I thought was going to pay off at Mania. But now Lita's in the mix. Like, what do you do with Becky, Bayley, and maybe Lita? Like, I don't...
Sex tape.
Besides that.
A second sex tape.
All right, after the third one, what do you do with them leading into Mania? This is pending Lita is coming back for one more, Mania run.
I mean, Lita and Becky kind of like sisters.
In a weird way, I can see that.
Stepsisters.
Ah, gotcha.
I don't know. Probably go after the tag belts.
I guess.
What else are they gonna do? I mean, like it's hard to have women's matches with a not title involved at WrestleMania.
The only way you would have been able to do it is if you had Bayley and Becky, because that would have been a must-see match, I think. But they did it already. So
who's Bianca go up against?
Oh, Asuka, aka Kana.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because Kana.
Are they having a women's?
Yeah, it's going to be for the number one contender for Bianca's title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
word.
Kana's winning that. I'm sorry. I'm not calling her Asuka because that is clearly Kana. During the Rumble, one of the best things I saw at the Rumble was her returning as Kana.
That was really cool. I popped for that. I'm not gonna lie.
Corey Graves losing his mind.
Yeah, Corey Graves did like nut in his pants. Yeah, Fretz, I think you're right. Ronda Shayna versus Damage Control is gonna be at Mania.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, fuck Ronda, dude.
Well, Ronda needed some time off to cool down. That's fine. But I also, speaking of Corey Graves in the Rumble, as we did speak about this last week, but I did want your commentary on this. Corey Graves did maybe his best work in commentary at the Rumble. He was on fire.
So was Michael Cole.
They all were on fire. Him, Cole, and Pat.
Michael Cole was listing off those Rumble stats.
Yeah.
And they generally didn't know Pat McAfee was coming
That
out.
was a great rib on Cole.
Yeah, having Pat McAfee's music, like the music kid, I was like, "Who is this?" It's like, "Oh yeah, oh my god, it's Pat McAfee."
And Cole's like, "You guys didn't tell me."
Oh, come on, guys, it's not nice. I'm Michael Cole. I've been here 25 years.
It was great. I will say, Corey Graves sounded so much like Bobby Heenan. He was very Heenan at the Rumble.
Corey Graves is like, I really fucking hate this guy.
But they worked well together. That's a perfect 3-man booth.
It really is, dude. Like, I never want to hear. I'm so happy Kevin Patrick was on the card because I fucking hate. He's. Oh my god, Ricky! What about? We gotta go to commercial break. Woo!
Yeah.
He's awful. He's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with Bayley and Becky and maybe Lita, but who the fuck knows? But let's move on. My God. The opening segment, Judgment Day, and Dominic Mysterio continues to be one of the funniest parts of wrestling each and every week.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I love to see him just do dumb shit.
It's even funny because he already has the tattoos. You know what I mean?
I know, but teardrop is fake that they just draw it on.
The teardrop's fake. I don't think it's teardrop. Yeah. Like on the arms, like his sleeves, those are already there.
Yeah. I love.
Really
did
funny.
You see the NASCAR segment they did?
No, but I don't.
No,
need to.
you need.
I saw like a picture of it. This looks ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous. So they were clearly on Fox, doing Clash at the. It's like the Clash or whatever the first NASCAR races because people watch that. And the New Day, it was like these two race car drivers. I don't know who, because I do know one race car driver was almost in Mexican prison this week, which is really funny.
Jeez.
Yeah, he got caught at the airport with a gun that he's like, I swear I forgot it was on me.
How do you forget a gun's on you?
Like, I don't know. Kyle Busch is an asshole. I know that for a fact. But the New Day were there, and then Judgment Day, which is like Damian Priest, Dominic. It was a New Day with Ray. And then Damian Priest, Dominic, and Finn showed up. And Finn looked like he was straight out of the 90s. That's where the Jamiroquai reference came from. Because he was wearing a bucket hat like that. He was wearing like a bucket hat and sweats. And like a sweatsuit.
Yeah, I don't know who Jamiroquai is. I know Edge told me to Google it, but that's too much
work.
Google it. I don't know how to spell it.
I can spell it for you. Jamiroquai is a fantastic fucking artist from the 90s.
Spell it for me. What do you got?
Jamiroquai. J-A-M-A-R-A-Q-U-I. Jamiroquai. Yeah. He made a song called... All right, did you ever see Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
Do you know...
He looks like Uncle Rico.
Huh?
Looks kind of like Uncle Rico.
But do you remember the song where it's like, dance, nothing else with me to do, just dance? That's Jamiroquai.
Interesting.
And he also made a song called Virtual Insanity, which is also a really good song as well.
Dude, what the fuck is this man? I am so confused.
But anywho, so then they go into this whole talk off at the Coliseum event. Essentially, what it leads to is Dominic and Ray getting in these NASCAR stock cars and racing each other around the track with like the NASCAR drivers in there. And the best thing that happened is Dominic says while racing, "Yo, where's the NOS at?"
Where's the NOS at?
He's such an idiot, but I like what they're doing here. I love Beth coming back because Beth is one of those people like Michelle McCool.
Dude, look at this picture of her. Beth.
Yeah. No,
hot as fuck.
Yeah, she is. There's a reason Edge couldn't stop slapping her ass on live TV. It was really funny. Also, Edge is having a great time with all of this. Like, look at him taking selfies with everybody in the crowd. Like, Edge is having the time of his life.
Yeah, he's on his goodbye tour.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it all. I love Edge. I love what he's doing here. They're clearly trying to clean up the Judgment Day stuff with Edge, and I like the story that they're doing.
I don't care for another Edge Finn match though. Like, it's been going on for so long.
I think that's why we're doing it at the Chamber, right?
Well, it's doing the mixed tag.
Yeah.
It's gotta lead to a one-on-one at Mania. Because what else would it be? This is like a Hell in a Cell match, which I guess cool.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I do like Finn's music. Finn's new music is fucking dope. With the remix version when he came with the Kanye mask at Chamber, not Chamber at
Extreme Rules. He doesn't wear the stupid mask.
Listen, I was okay with the mask. It's like Finn's just doing some weird stuff, but it's kind of working because Dominic's also stealing most of the spotlight because he keeps on screaming "mommy." This is great.
I love that he calls her mommy. It's just so fucking funny. It's just like, it's just the right amount of stupid.
Yeah. And I cannot wait for Brood Edge versus Demon. That's a good call, Freds. I still can't wait for when they start to build Ray versus Dominic, because that's happening at Mania 2. That's another crazy match for Mania. Ray versus Dominic.
I hope if Ray's not actually hurt.
I don't know. I don't think he is. I don't think he is at all. But anyway, you can save him for a while. Dominic's doing this dumb shit right there. Ray can come back from a save, and then you get Ray versus Dominic at Mania. Perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great.
It's great. All right, so here's what I bring. We haven't talked about AEW often because there's not much to talk about in AEW land. However, I do want to pose this to you, and I found this interesting fun fact. In 1982, Vince McMahon bought WWE from his father. Okay. Within 4 years' time, he had successfully done the first WrestleMania, which is in 84, 85. And he had successfully started to do Hulkamania. Okay? So that was in the first 4 years. In a couple of months from now, in October of 2023, will be 4 years since AEW Dynamite's first show.
Wow.
Yeah. So my question is, in comparison to that time frame, what is, and we're going to compare this, we're going to do Tony Khan, what is Tony Khan's biggest accomplishment with AEW? If we forgot, Tony Khan was a guy who also called himself, very disrespectfully, essentially the longest tenured promoter in wrestling, hours after Vince McMahon announced his retirement.
Oh, I think I have to do a prediction what's going to happen with the AEW by the next few months. I was going to say Nick Khan's going to buy Tony Khan, then run it into the ground and just shut it all down.
My question to you is, what would be his accomplishment of the 4 years? Or big accomplishments of the 4 years.
The first All Out, when they sold out the arena.
That wasn't AEW. That was nothing. That was not AEW at all. That was them doing stuff with ROH, because ROH funded that.
You know what? I'll say Forbidden Door then.
Okay.
Because it's a concept. I mean, the show itself, I didn't watch the show itself, but I think the show itself was like okay. Mm-hmm. But the concept and the fact that they made the impossible happen. Right, what they said, like, what can never be done, but it's something people have speculated and wanted for so long.
Here's what I feel about that is that it was something that hadn't been done on that scale, because if you remember, Ring of Honor had their War of the Worlds series for a long time with New Japan, but they didn't have a grand scale like the United Center. like in Chicago. So I do agree with that. Yeah. So I was wondering what.
I'd probably say Forbidden Door. I think that's a good one. I like Tony Khan. I don't know why. Just look at him. Look at that smile.
He's a lovable.
He has no idea.
He's a lovable idiot. Yeah. He's a lovable. He's a bro. He's essentially a lovable bro.
See if Billy Madison won a wrestling company.
Yeah, I think Forbidden Door for him. I think about it. AEW has number one. I think the biggest accomplishment is just lasting. For right now.
Yeah, staying relevant. Yeah, sure.
I think lasting is a big thing because WWE ramped up a lot after AEW debuted. You know, it took a while for WWE to kind of like, all right, what are we going to do with this? And they were like, oh, okay, we got it now. You know,
they had a lot of momentum.
They
were the place to be. You know, they got Moxley, which was huge.
That was their first purse. That was the first get.
Yeah, I'd say Moxley debuting and DDTing Kenny on the poker chip.
Yeah.
Huge moment. Mm-hmm. Huge moment.
I think also I think they're very innovative. I think it's one of their bigger accomplishments. They're innovative with the arenas that they choose, especially when they did the tennis court.
You mean Chicago 13 times
a year?
No,
I'm talking about when they go to Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, well, that's the only one that was available. Vince was just like, no one's going to go here.
I think that was a big deal for them as well. And I think one of their bigger accomplishments is that they talk about, even though I can say a lot about Tony, I think they're very innovative in how they handle talent, especially talent that comes out of line minus CM Punk. They're very transparent with what happens to them.
Yeah. Which
WWE is not at all. They're very like closed over. Tony Khan's like, well, no, this happened. Here's what's going to happen. Like, look at Sammy Guevara. They're like, yep, Sammy fucked up. He's suspended. We're going to bring him to sensitivity training, and he has to complete it, or else he can't come back. Great, awesome.
Jeff Hardy, rehab, same thing.
Yeah.
Kenny and the Bucks were held under wraps with CM Punk, but yeah, like with the exception of that, because that's a little different. But yeah, I guess he has a reputation backstage for being like
he's very hands on.
Spends a lot of money on catering. He spends a lot of money on the boys. He's trying to cater to the boys, which makes sense because trying to bring people there. Like like WWE has that clause in the contract where if you're injured, you got to bring that. You got the contracts on pretty much frozen.
Yeah, because you got to finish out your time. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're still paid, but that they miss a year from a torn hamstring.
You got to make up a year.
They got to make up a year back. Tony Khan doesn't have that, so like CM Punk, if he comes back, it's a new contract.
Yeah.
It's not frozen. Like same with Kenny Omega on his suspension when he was injured. It's just like that. He needs to make a few tweaks on the business ends, and I think sometimes he's a little too lean on his talent. Like it's like what Alistair's like. I need time away for like my anxiety, like mental health or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes like, listen, bro, like I need you on fucking TV. Like, what am I paying you for?
Yeah, or like
I get that you need time off, but it's like, how much fucking time off do you need? You're barely on TV.
Yeah, or like use your money, which you have almost an unlimited amount of due to your family. Use that money, hire some mental health professionals. They wanted to be really progressive with like catering to wrestlers. Hire therapists for them.
I feel like they have those, though.
I honestly don't know. It's not something they've really talked about, which is, if I was Tony Khan, if I did have that, that's something I'd highlight.
It wouldn't surprise me if they had, like, fucking a puppy lounge in every single arena and therapy dogs
that'd be
and, like,
so
a
dope.
Yoga room. Yeah, but it's fucking a waste of money.
Well, no waste. I mean...
You know what Tony Khan's biggest failure is? Not making money.
That is the biggest... Well, I said his biggest accomplishment. I wasn't going to talk about his failure.
Yeah, well, I mean... He makes money, but he can't turn a profit. I mean, I know it takes 4 to 5 years for a company to actually start making money and turn a profit. That's just a fact. But he runs a good product, but, he's not good at making money.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see if they have some sort of mental health or partnering with some sort of mental health agency to help out their talent in particular when things get tough. Because it does get tough on the road for them a lot of the time, too. But we'll see.
It's the life you chose, man. I mean, honestly, sometimes you got to be like, listen, get the fuck over it.
Well, you can't just say that as get the fuck over it. Not with people who have, like, real mental health issues.
You're in the wrong business, man. It's like it's a business, right? You still got to make money.
Yeah, businesses are tough, but think about if they have mental health professionals with some of our talent, like Like a Scott Hall.
If they're going through a crisis, like a mental break, yeah, that's one thing. But it's just like, I'm tired, I need time off. It's like, bro, you're on a fucking contract.
Tired and need time off. Like, physically tired is different from mentally tired or mentally exhausted. Those are different things. And it affects the body differently. It does affect the situation. True. And it does depend on the situation. And
there's a lot I don't know.
Yes.
And if I'm sounding a dick, like, I get it. But, like, at the end of the day, this is a wrestling business that needs to make money and turn a profit for a TV program that I pay you a lot of money to be a character on. Mm-hmm. If you're just not going to be there, like, you shouldn't be in the business then. If you can't handle it, you can't handle it. Get the fuck out. Go do something else.
Yeah, again, it's a situation by situation basis, and I don't know what Alistair's situation is. Yeah. Or Malachi, because I can just call him Alistair, but whatever Malachi's situation is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Tony Khan still has work to do with AEW, I think. Speaking of which, I want to talk about AEW's champion, MJF, who at this point, and I'm going to use MJF's word here, kind of mid right now. Like, what do you think of essentially his inaugural run as AEW champion?
I haven't heard a goddamn thing about it. There's no buzz.
That's very scary.
Even though I don't watch AEW at all anymore, since CM Punk left, I just haven't been interested in AEW. I would still hear things here and there about stuff that's going on, and I listen to wrestling podcasts that cover AEW. Because Matt Men cover AEW more than WWE, and I still can't tell you what the hell is going on. I know Darby Allin and Samoa Joe have flip-flopped the title of the TNT Championship.
But Samoa Joe just won again last week.
Yeah, so I haven't heard much about anything about MJF. I haven't heard anything about his promos. I don't know who he's feuding with.
That's very concerning.
I heard a few things here about Ricky Starks. I haven't heard about him in a few weeks. That's because WWE has been really, really hot.
That's also true as well, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think MJF as a champion, from someone who doesn't watch it, has been very disappointing, which you can take that for what it is. But the fact that I haven't heard anything about it and there's no buzz around him, I think kind of speaks for itself. Now, if you watch it and you say, here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened, I could probably be like, okay. Mm-hmm. Why aren't I hearing about that?
Yeah, you hear about a lot of stuff outside of MJF. Taekwon in our chat is telling us.
Oh, I did know that MJF is feuding with Daniel Bryan. Brian Danielson. I did know that.
Which is fine, and I think it's going to be a good barometer to see what MJF can actually do in a ring.
Yeah, but I know who's going to win that match. Like Brian Danielson doesn't want a match in AEW. Like Brian Danielson in AEW has been a flop. He isn't. What's he done? Yeah,
who knows? According to WrestleMania here, he says MJF cuts promos. That's it. And the guy's my favorite. We're building a match with Danielson. That's it. But, that's great to accentuate the fact that MJF is cutting promos. That's fine. That's cool. It's what he's good at. But you also have to wrestle. Like, Miz cuts good promos. That's what the Miz is good at. But the Miz will still get in the ring.
Yeah. Well, MJF tells good stories in the ring. He's not a great wrestler. He tells really good stories, though.
Sure, and that's important.
He says in his promos, he doesn't need that flippy shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that's fine. You can be a mat-based wrestler. It's you know.
It's really refreshing in that fucking company where everyone flip-flops.
Yeah, but get in the ring. Get in the ring and wrestle.
Hey, I guess it's also heat, though.
That's true.
You gotta see me wrestle. Does it make sense for MJF's character to be a fighting champion?
Probably not.
But how many times can you hire W. Morrissey or fucking Brian Cage to take out your competition before you fight the guy? Did that with Jericho. Did that with Punk. Now doing it again with Brian. Okay, what else you got?
Yeah.
It's like fuck's sake, write me another story.
Seriously, I'm tired of your heavies.
Yeah.
I'm tired of heavies. I mean.
Oh, they call him Big Bill now, not W. Morrissey. They call him Big Bill, right? Is that what they call him now?
Big Bill.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's
Bill,
a great name. It's a great name. If they call, I think they do call him Big Bill, which is.
That just reminds me of Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah, they call me a Bill, and I'm sitting here.
I'm just a Bill, and I'm a Big Bill.
I'm sitting here,
Capitol Hill. Cutting Medicare and Social Security for your grandma and grandpa.
MJF sending out Bebop and Rocksteady. That's fucked up. Oh my god. Big Bob, a.k.a. Helga's daddy. Also great reference, right?
Big Bob Pataki.
Big Bob Pataki.
Yeah, I don't know how fucking Taekwon is so young but knows all of these old school references.
I'm very impressed. Taekwon. I'm very
impressed. People say I'm an old soul.
No, you're not.
But Now, dude, I got people in the office like, how do you know movies from the 80s? I'm like,
Because
I
you like
watch
movies.
movies. Like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, how do you know this song? I'm like, because I know music. Like, I despise pop music. You know, I know that Flower song's cool, but, you know, Def Leppard's better. Like,
oh my god.
I can find myself flower. It's a good
Oh
song.
my god.
It's good on TikTok.
It's like every independent girl's theme song.
You know, it's better than Megan Trainor, all right? I can't put my Gucci on.
Listen, it's all about that bass, no trouble.
Yeah, that song was...
It's all about that bass. Oh my god.
Well, she was fat back then. She had that fat ass, but now she's in shape and really pretty.
Yes. Speaking of in shape, it's totally about music. We're going to go off before we talk about NXT Vengeance Day, which was or actually it was good for what it was worth. I'll say that. But did you see the Adele at the Grammys?
With The Rock? I did see that. I was like, wow, this was so scripted. But I was like, oh, that's nice.
Fucking Trevor. I was like, yeah, so I heard you're a big fan of Dwayne Johnson. Well, he's not here, but I have this guy, The Rock.
Clever Trevor.
Oh my god.
Also, leave Beyonce alone and Harry Styles. For fuck's sake, everybody. Get over yourselves. Nothing.
What did Harry Styles do that was wrong?
So Harry Styles won a Grammy, first of all. That's what he did. What was
he
wrong.
had good. So his
Beyonce,
music is actually. I've listened to it. It's actually pretty catchy. He makes good music.
I don't think wrong with Harry Styles, but I just know he's the biggest artist in the world right now.
But that
Beyonce,
is also correct.
So Beyonce broke a record for
most,
the amount of
most
Grammys
Grammy
won.
ones, yeah.
But she's only won like the big four, like, you know, best song, best album, whatever.
Boo
like
fucking who?
Like once or twice.
Oh, so she won the Grammys that mattered.
She didn't win the Grammys that mattered.
Oh, she's never won the big four?
So she's won one.
Okay.
But like, so they're saying, yeah, she wins all the awards, but it's still like racist because she's the one the big one, and they're mad at Harry Styles for winning the big one.
Harry Styles was a better artist last year. Beyonce didn't come out with anything.
That's like, yeah, I was like, leave everybody
and besides,
the fuck alone.
Beyonce's
like, for fuck's sake, Beyonce breaks the record, and you're still
like
mad.
Beyonce's the winningest artist in Grammy history. Like, that's something to be happy about. Who cares?
And she's fucking Beyonce. Yeah. And wait until she gets mad at Ticketmaster. She's touring.
Yeah. You think Taylor Swift threw a fit? Oh, you wait. You wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Beyonce fans, I know T Swift fans are bad, but Beyonce fans are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I will.
Jazz makes us the alien superstar. Like every car ride, I want to rip my ears off my face.
My God, there's not a fandom I hate more than the Beehive. Is what they call themselves, by the way.
Oh my God, do you know Alien Superstar?
No, I don't want to.
Dude, listen to the song. It's just. So here's how she describes it. She's like, it's a song for black women. Okay. I'm like, okay, that's fine. She's like, I can see black women feeling empowered and loving that shit, but everyone else is just like, I like Beyonce. She's a great artist, but this song is just fucking awful. Bad bitch on the bar. Alien superstar. Like, that's just how it goes.
Whatever. I will never probably listen to it at all. Anyway, let's go back to...
Let's do it once.
All right, maybe. All right, let's go back to NXT. NXT Vengeance Day was actually pretty cool. I know you didn't watch it, Will.
No, I saw a few highlights. So I saw Carmelo Hayes come out at the end, which I was just like, oh, that's cool.
I love the setup. It was very kind of bare bones, but still like a massive fucking screen.
It was good to see them in a big. It was good. In a big arena.
It was good to see them. They weren't sold out. You can clearly tell they weren't sold out. But it was good to see them.
You don't have to be. Who cares?
But it was good to see them with an arena with a fan base that was also very rowdy. Like that crowd helped out a lot.
Where was it?
Charlotte, North Carolina. And they had an intro with Charlotte Flair because Charlotte and Charlotte, you know, which is also surprising. Like, how come Charlotte hasn't had a WrestleMania? Probably because no one wants to go there, but they probably don't have the infrastructure for it.
Where would they play? Like, what would they play? Where would they
perform?
Panthers, like, what stadium?
Carolina Panthers Stadium.
Oh yeah.
And then the Hornets also have their best.
Okay, what else is
that's
there?
That's the issue. That's the issue. That's the big issue.
Like even with Detroit, it's like, okay, I'm sure there's like a car museum there somewhere.
Oh yeah,
you can go see poverty if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can go find water in Detroit. You know, that's the biggest. Yeah. It's the big attraction.
I'm sure Flint is nearby.
Yeah, I think it's north. Don't quote me on that. But no, Vengeance Day was good. Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews, great. 2 out of 3 falls. That tag match was great because apparently Andre Chase, a.k.a. Harlem Bravado, is from Carolina. So his family was in tennis, and there was a giant Chase U section. I will say Chase U is probably my favorite gimmick in NXT right now.
That's pretty cool. I'm glad he has one section. I do like section, the Cesaro section, the Baddies Club, and now the Chase U section.
Because everybody wears the Chase U shirt, and they're all like in one section of the crowd.
Dude, it's like they need like the Weasley sweaters.
They do. Well, no, but it's just shirts. But he does wear like kind of a sweater vest idea, which is great. But like, one of his signature moments in his match is like. He's stomping the guy on the ground. He's like, "Give me a C!" And the crowd yells C. And so the entire arena did it with him.
That's pretty cool.
He goes, "What does it spell?" And everybody yells, "Chase you!"
That's pretty cool. I'll give him that. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that.
He's doing so much better when we first saw him in the Indies as Harlem Bravado, and I hated him with a burning passion.
I'll give him an applause break for that one. That's pretty good.
The tag match is great. New Day dropped to Gallus.
Yeah, it's only the Triple H is like, it's WrestleMania, so he's me caught up.
Yeah, stop playing around, guys.
We might age with you, so again, who knows?
Yeah, Dijak broke his finger.
I did see that. That looked like it hurt.
Yeah, he broke it in the middle of the match and still had to finish the match. So there's that. Yeah, no, it was good. My only thing is that I'm so glad Carmelo is finally going after Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker is so fucking boring. There's nothing about him that I enjoy.
Yeah, there's been no buzz around him either. And there was for a while, and he just kind of fell off.
He has no personality.
Which is funny because he's a Steiner.
Yeah, but he's like, I want to be Breaker. I want to make my name off of a Steiner. I'm like, no, you're a Steiner for a reason. Use that. Like, I get it. You want to be yourself, but you're still a Steiner. Like, you do all the Steiner stuff. You might as well be it. It was really funny because Grayson Waller came out for the cage match wearing chainmail on his head.
That's really funny. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But yeah, there's nothing great about him. The best character in NXT is Carmelo Hayes. Him and Trick Williams are fantastic.
I still love the name Trick Williams.
I know. And they better come up together. He's not coming up right now because Triple H is going to hold him back.
What happened with Toxic Attraction? They just broke up.
They just broke up on TV officially.
Yeah. NXT.
Yeah. Well, obviously, they were going for a while. They did a triple threat with Roxanne Perez, who also had a great Rumble appearance.
God, she's so cute.
She's like only 21 and she's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, she's like AJ Lee when she first debuted. It's like, oh, yes, I just want to give her a hug and like pinch her cheeks. Like, it's so cute. And then give her this little peck on her nose.
Yeah, and so obviously it was a triple threat, and Roxanne won because they started infighting. They went on Ding Dong. They did Ding Dong Hello with Bayley, who apparently might have broken her arm during the cage match. She was in a sling. I was like, oh, that's not fun. And then they pretty much did. JC Jane turned on Gigi. They essentially kind of recreated the barbershop moment. And she threw Gigi Dolan through Bayley's door.
The door.
Which didn't break all the way. So it was kind of a rough-looking spot. But I'm fine with it. You need to, without Mandy, you need to tear up Toxic Attraction.
Yeah.
And which is a shame because Mandy was on a great run, but Mandy's making a lot of money right now. Trust me.
Oh, she's doing just fine. She's not missing shit.
Yeah, she is doing just fine. But
she's like, I can take pictures of my butthole.
Yeah.
Or I can fall on my head for a living.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my butthole. So.
I'd probably also go with my butthole.
So, yeah, no, NXT's revving up for Stand and Deliver, which I believe will be Braun Breaker's last match, and they're going to probably call him up prematurely because he's not ready because he has no personality. And Carmelo Hayes is going to run NXT for at least the next year, which I'm more than okay with.
Nothing like a good old post-Mania call-up.
Yeah, he's going to, because, like, honestly, without the title, Braun Breaker has nothing to do in NXT. Which is scary because I think he might get lost in the sauce. Because, again, like I said, he has no personality.
Yeah, who do you feud with? Like Dolph Ziggler?
I mean, usually that's what happens. I mean, he already feuded with Dolph already. He did it last year.
True.
When Dolph beat him for the NXT Championship.
Well, do you think Austin Theory walks out of the chamber with the U.S. title? He go after like Austin. I can see him and Austin Theory having a good feud.
Yeah, I mean, also we didn't talk about him, but I love this Austin Theory. He is in a very Hollywood Rock kind of moment.
He is. That car was really nice.
Oh yeah, the rented Lambo.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely
Rented.
yeah, he's definitely Hollywood Rock at the moment. But it's also this is the heel that we saw in Evolve. I was like, finally they let him be.
Finally.
Yeah, they let him be himself. Granted, he was a great comedy act for a while, getting his ass beat and being a part of the way.
He was. I would not like it at first, but it really grew on me as a comedy act.
Yeah, but he's such a pure asshole. It's so good. It's so good. I don't think he loses. I want to see him get a Mania match.
Who's in it? It's Seth. It's
Seth's
Seth
in it. I forgot.
Priest.
Seth Priest. Montez. Tez qualified this week. I forgot who else. I don't know if it's going to...
Theory. Obviously, there's two more.
I don't know if they've totally solidified. Let me do a quick check on WWE's website real quick. So
I hope he keeps it. But to Fretz's point, I think he goes up against Cena and loses at Mania.
Yeah,
him and Cena would be a great
okay,
match.
so the card's already set. So it's Seth, Theory, Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez.
That's right.
And Jonah. No, it's not his real name's not Jonah. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed. My thick boy.
Yeah, I forgot he came back too.
Yeah, that's going to be an actual fun match.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Hell yeah, it's gonna be
There's
awesome.
a lot of good workers in this match. There's a lot of good workers in this match. Like, I'm just waiting for Montez's, Montez is going to touch the top of the chamber when he hits a frog splash.
He's gonna hit his head.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's going to be great. But we'll talk all about Elimination Chamber next week. But that is essentially the end of our show. A little over an hour for us, actually.
Good. Cut that shit short.
Pretty good. So, yeah, you want to know who next week's guest is? So we are going to do Elimination Chamber next week, and we're not going to do it alone, Will. So I hope you're ready to smile because...
Please, I don't know who it is. Sam Smiley?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, my girl. I haven't seen her in a long time. This is New Orleans.
Smiley is going to be not coming in, but she's going to be live with us straight from Chicago. And I think her quote was, "I wanted to get on during Black History Month to give Will shit." So I was like, perfect.
What did I do?
I was like, perfect.
I have no problem with Black History Month. I'm sorry, it's February. Sometimes you get 29 days. What can I say?
Sure. It was a deliberate thing on purpose. I forgot the history of when it got named there. But yeah, no, Smiley's gonna be.
Does that something to do with Martin Luther King?
No, it does not. I have to look it up again, but I forgot. But Smiley is coming, so we're gonna reminisce, have a great time. It'll be the day before your birthday, so that's my birthday gift to you.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, I'm turning 28 next week.
Yeah, so Smiley's gonna be around for us, and we can't wait to have her. And with that being said, let's go to post. No, not Norman Smiley, Taekwon Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number...
That'd be cool.
It would be great. Episode number 327, Pull Back the Curtain. I've been your host, King Ricky Rose. You can formerly find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets. BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs. Don't try to follow me at all because I'm actually really not there. I am pretty ghost. I'll find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews because it really helps your boys out, helping us get the word out there. So please, share it, leave reviews, leave comments, do all that fun stuff that you do for all the other people that you follow on social media. We deserve that love too. If you're listening to us on audio, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at Addict_Wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else. Next week, we're going to preview Elimination Chamber with our good old friend Smiley from Chicago, but we met her in New Orleans, and she used to live in Florida. It's a lot of stuff going on, but we're all going to recap it next week. But until then, Will Tarashuk, sorry.
We got so much to catch up on. I thought she was still in Florida, so I'm some good friend, some friend.
She moved back
to
Chicago.
Oh, good for her. Well, if you want to be my friend, my name is Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, ARASHU. My internet bill is paid. It is set up. It took a little while because Optimum kind of sucks balls sometimes.
It does.
But yeah, Talking with Tarashuk podcast is going great. Tomorrow I'm speaking to a military veteran
That
who has done a lot of great work. He started a podcast, but he pretty much helps veterans not kill themselves.
Oh, okay.
So, it's honestly, dude, veterans with podcasts is very, very helpful for other veterans. I've heard that from multiple people. So I'm very excited to pick his brain. He's also a Boston native, so he's from my neck of the woods.
Oh, God. It's going to be a lot of Boston accent going on.
Yeah, he was introduced to me from another guy who's been podcasting since 2005.
Wow.
Who was on my podcast last year.
Okay.
So I'm very excited. So shout out to Keith Hayes from Hoopazoo to introducing me to Trevor. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That releases on... February, last day in February.
That's February 28th was the last day in February.
22nd. So,
okay.
Yeah, last Wednesday in February. So 22nd. It's on the 22nd.
All right, gotcha. All right, so when we come back next week, folks, it's the Elimination Chamber preview show featuring CM Smiley, and it's going to be a great time. So until then, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you on the post show if you're following us live. And fuck you, Slack. He gets eliminated first. This has been a Wrestle Addict Radio branded podcast.